Welcome to another DragonLance Saga gaming episode. My name is Adam, and today we are going to be playing an XDM role-playing session just to celebrate 10K subscribers. I know that's not a lot to a lot of people out there, but it's a lot to me, and so I wanted to celebrate it. Reached out to the community, and this is what the overall majority wanted to see. Not wanted to play, by the way, but wanted to see. It was a little bit of a struggle getting players for this in some cases, but we've got a great team here and we're going to have a lot of fun telling a really wonderful Dragonlance story. Before we dive into that, I want to say that this episode is being sponsored by the nonprofit group, the USO. So the USO assists veterans and their families while they're in service, the soldiers in service as well. They put on shows for service members and stuff. So if you're able, if you're interested, feel free to donate to the USO. It goes directly to them. It is a nonprofit organization that, if you've ever been involved in the military, you've had personal experience with the USO. I'd like to thank Chris. That's very generous of you, man. Thank you very much for tuning in live also. Because this is going to be a role-playing game, we're not going to be interacting with the audience as much. Maybe during downtime or something, I'll try to glance over and see if there's any questions or comments or thoughts, and I might throw those in if it's appropriate. But the purpose of this is to experience a fun little Dragonlance game, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So before I break down what you can all expect as far as timeline and setup for the story, let's meet the players and their characters, shall we?
All right. My name's Derek. I'm going to be playing Errol Kelson, the Knight of the Crown. Has a history of trying to be promoted, or of not being promoted. Little socially awkward. He definitely has been working with these other individuals in the adventuring group for a little while, and he has a history where he holds on to a sacred shield that his grandfather, when he was previously a Knight of Solamnia, he holds dear.
Nice. Ashley?
Yes, I'm Ashley. Also, I will be playing the character Lul Sarisun, a priestess of Habakkuk. Bit of backstory. I am the second child of an elvish man and a human woman. I grew up on a small farm, and I have been studying for many years and became a priestess at a young age. And yeah, that's it for me.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Kurt. I will be playing Sirius Bray. Sirius was born and raised in Palanthas. Grew up as the son of a somewhat well-heeled jewelry magnate. Became the custodian of the business's accounts at a young age and was eventually recruited by a very curious red-robed customer. About 6 months after that meeting, I went to the Tower of Sorcery at Wayreth, and, well, now I run the occasional odd jobs for my master in the art.
Nice.
I am Jacob. I'll be playing Delta Leafdown, the Kender Handler. I'm just a Kender on my wanderlust, looking for interesting treasures and stories to swap with my fellow Kender when I return home.
Fantastic. All right, so here's the setup for this game session. The Blue Ladies' War has ended. The portal to the Abyss has been sealed with Raceland Magir, master of past and present, inside. Lord Arikan has been released from the High Clerist's Tower, and the Knights of Solamnia had hoped he would join their order. Though the dragon armies have been defeated, they are still mercenary bands which control various regions throughout all of northern Ansalon, and war has devastated nearly every reach of the continent. The Sylvanesti are slowly returning to fight Lorak's nightmare. The Quillenesti are returning home, battling the remnant invader bands. And the Knights of Solamnia are reclaiming their keeps and dignity in Solamnia. It is Braca Holmeswealth the 11th, 359 Alt Catacleus. The heroes of our adventure today have been called by Lord, damn it, we just changed the name and I forgot already, Fulgreat,
Yes.
to the capital city of Malgoth. This is the capital of Hinterlund, which is just north of Solamnia, If you can see the map, it's right around here. Little mark there. He invited the heroes because he has worked with them in the past. This is the anniversary of the completion, the successful win, as it were, of the War of the Lance. And different capital cities around northern Aragoth, Salamnia, and this region, Hinterlund, host these celebrations. It just happens to be Lord Fulgreat's turn. One of the important visitors of note to be celebrated is Lord Gunther Uthwistan, who is attending with his own entourage. The heroes have enjoyed a full day of celebrations, from parades to fairs to various games that kids and perhaps Kender enjoy maybe a little too much from time to time. The Kender wasn't officially invited, I do feel inclined to note, but that didn't stop Delta from arriving. There is a guard assigned to every individual Kender, which you can imagine on celebration days like today taxes the not just numbers of city guard, but also their will to live, because chasing down Kender is not the greatest of all jobs to be had. But the day wears on, and it is a beautiful spring day. The sun is now setting over the mountains that are far in the distance. Clouds are streaking across the sky, creating this wonderful painting-like sunset of deep purples and pinks and reds and blues. And everyone who is of any note, including the heroes here, and those being celebrated as veterans of this War of the Lance, or heroes or generals, have been invited to a smaller banquet to close out the evening's festivities. As you arrive, there is singing and dancing. There's music that is playing, which is my cue to hit a button. Perhaps. Here we go. As the music is playing, you see dignitaries and people of note scattered all throughout this banquet hall. At the far end, you do see Lord Fulgreat, this very rotund man in this sort of flowery, sort of fluffy-edged, billowy shirt with this tighter vest stretched really tight over his rotund belly. And he has this really large blue sash wrapped around his body. This is the height of Hinterlund fashion, for him anyway. And he is sure that everyone is pruning and excited to be not only present, but to witness his very waxed mustachio and facial features of his beard and his very sort of eagle-esque nose as he sort of preens as he looks at his higher dais table with all of the real dignitaries, watching the rest of the banquet below. Where are all of you? What are you doing in this banquet hall?
I'm standing in the corner, back off, and basically to the most obscured area where I can't be seen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing there, and I'm trying to fiddle with a portion of my sash or uniform, part of my armor, because I feel like it's not quite in the right spot.
Right.
And I keep thinking, no one sees this. I keep looking over my shoulder. No one sees that I'm not quite fully all together.
Okay.
I am.
Currently.
Oh, Ashley, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm on the dance floor, currently dancing with a gentleman,
Okay. You're
having a
boogieing.
joyous time.
Awesome. I actually can't hear
I am-
any music. This is not working for me. Can you guys hear
Neither
me?
do I, actually.
I'm not getting any music either.
What the?
Ah.
It never works out the way you want it to. All right, I'll start here in a second. All right, how about you, Delta? What are you doing?
I am currently leading around the guard that has been watching me all day, trying to find Cirrus. Just because this guard happened to mention that an uncle of his may or may not have been a sleight of hand magician. So I'm trying to figure out if Cirrus knows anything about this guy. while also just kind of like absentmindedly like picking up like silverware and like looking at it and putting it down as I walk past the tables.
So the guard is trying to like smack your hand. He's trying to like reach for your hair. Do you have a top knot? How's your hair done up?
Low ponytail tied with a green bow in the back.
Nice. So he is trying to reach for you as best he can. Every time he gets like a grip on your shirt or something, you sort of just wriggle free of his grasp. He is exasperated. He's sweating a little bit because he knows the other guards and the other dignitaries in the room are like sort of, looking down their noses at a kender being involved. They see him chasing. They blame your presence on him. He's feeling very self-conscious at the moment.
And I look back at him and I say, "Oh no, don't worry, we'll find him in a minute. We just gotta turn around this corner. I'm sure he'll be waiting there for us."
I'm looking for you! Why can't you just come out of the office? You're not even supposed to be here! I don't even know how you got into the city! We have guards posted at every entry point!
Raising your voice like that is bad for your blood pressure.
You have no idea! I'm freaking out! You see him just grab a drink off of the table and just sort of down it really quick, and then just do a fresh lunge at you, trying to grab you to get you out of the room.
That'll help you relax. And I keep walking, trying to find Cirrus.
As they walk past you, Errol, the guard looks over. He's like, "You look fine. How about you help me get this damn kender?" He like starts moving along.
Stop right there. Hold on. Delta, come here. I know this kender. He's an acquaintance.
You're friends with this?
Yes, we have a past together. We have done many things together, and I bet he'll be on his best behavior because I'm going to be watching him. Right, Delta?
I see that you've polished your shield since the last time I've met you. Is that a new hilt you just put on your sword? That's really smart of you. I think that's real nice.
Yes.
He's like, "Look, you just called dibs. I'm out." You see the guard just turn around and walk away.
Remember, mind yourself.
Oh, right. I take out like something from my bag and I start fidgeting with, like, I take out like a button and I'm looking at it. I'm like, that Lord really needs to keep a closer number for his tailor, because these buttons keep popping off, and if he's gonna keep dropping them, I'm gonna keep picking them up.
Okay.
I shake my head.
Let's cut over to Laurel at the dance floor. So you're having fun, doing some of the traditional dances of this area, I'm sure. How do you hide your ears at all?
No, they are proudly on display as I am totally jamming out.
Okay. So a gentleman sort of approaches and he starts trying to dance. He does like the white man's overbite, as he's dancing, just trying to get your attention. That's like our version of peacock feathers, the white man overbite. So he's getting down. He's like, I really love your ears. They're so pointy. Do you think maybe I could touch your ear?
Do you know what else is pointy? And I pull out a dagger.
They go, no, have a great night. It was really nice meeting you. He just sort of like walks like
You
quickly
too.
off the dance floor. You see people dancing next to you, just sort of smile like, "That's how you do it." Get the creepo
And I
away.
continue dancing.
Lord Fulgrate is trying to like get your attention, Sirius. He's like looking over and he's doing like one of these numbers.
I've been glad handing my way through the crowd, smiling, kissing babies, that sort of thing.
Just grabbing random babies and kissing them and handing them back. It's a form of luck where I come.
Just your general sachet across the floor sort of
Nice.
deal, and I will of course approach the Lord when I get the nod.
Okay.
And as I do, I come up, I give him a bow, rather stiff from the waist.
It's very good to see you again, Sirius Bray. May I invite you up here to meet Lord Gunther Uthwistan himself. Lord Gunther, meet Sirius Bray. His people come from Palanthus, very renowned for their jewelry making. I've got this very ring from them. You see Lord Gunther just sort of turn. He was talking with his wife. He looks a little bit bothered because he was not part of the conversation beforehand, and he's being pulled away from a prior conversation. So he look, a little bit flustered, but he's not rude or anything. He's over, it's very nice to meet you. What is your name again, Mr. Bray?
Lord Gunther. You may not remember me, sir, but I remember you most fondly. You have been into my family's shop, sir.
Oh, well, I've been in many shops. What is the name of this establishment?
Well, Bray and Sons.
Oh, I suppose that would make much more sense. Yes, I seem to recall Bray and Sons in Palanthas. If I recall, it is a lot of gold and silver work, some gem setting of sorts. Is that correct?
That is correct, yes, sir. Your lordship has a very astute memory.
Well, I hope you have fun in this celebration. Are you here with anyone?
With various people of, well, some reputation, both good and for ill, I suppose.
You hear Lord Fulgurate sort of bark in briefly. He's like, we are very good friends, and I believe that Sirius Bray is, he's worked with me for many years, and I'll say, if you're very fond of his establishment, you even agree perhaps to start up his own franchise of sorts here in Maregoth. I believe that would be a very nice thing. What do you say, Sirius Bray?
I would say, sir, that is most interesting, and I will be happy to inquire with my brother, who runs the day-to-day operations of the business, whether that would be possible.
Very good. Well, I'm sure Lord Gunther of West End would... Yes, sir, you do not have to keep calling me by my full name. Lord Winston would be just fine, or call me Gunther. This is a bit of a personal relationship we've built over the years. Oh, yes, I think that is a very good idea. Gunther. You see him sort of getting all excited and straightening his back just a little more, making his belly protrude even further out in front of him. Just then you hear this sort of tiny bell ringing from the far end of the banquet hall. And this is the cue for everyone to find their seats. The music starts to die down, and people go as the courses of dinner start arriving. So do you all take your seats?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will make my polite, way back from where the main portion of the table is to the seat that I was assigned.
Okay.
And I'm going to be keeping a hold on Delta just a little bit, like on his shoulder, kind of making sure that he is seated next to me, hopefully, so I can keep an eye on him.
Okay.
I'm just standing on my chair once we get to the table, so I can see over it, like kind of look at everybody.
This is really interesting. So yeah, ostensibly the banquet hall is basically a square of tables, but the scale is immense. So you can look across, but you would have to yell to actually have a conversation with someone, which of course would be very impolite and no one would ever do it. But that's the size of this space. People are, the conversations have been dulled down to very sort of quiet personal levels. You can hear the clattering of knives and forks on plates as the dinner is progressing. The wine is not really good, to Laurel's taste, but for all other humans, this is a decent vintage. The food is a lot of boar, some venison, and a lot of vegetables. Now, this is a feast, which can be seen as a little obscene, considering this is a post-World War environment. But again, this is a very solemn occasion, and though we haven't gone to the point of any singing or poetry or performances, to indicate the celebration, you can sort of understand the extravagance, as it were. As everyone's enjoying their meal, you do see a page run up to Lord Fulgurate and sort of like whisper in his ear, And Lord Fulgray like shakes his head and pushes the guy away, and the page sort of runs out of the room, and just a few moments later he runs back in and sort of a little bit more exasperated, and like, you need to, you know, deal with whatever this is. And he sort of like waves, it looks off in the distance and waves in from the entryway of the hall. And you all see this guard accompanying this young lady. Now, the clothing that she's wearing would be of high society, though it is ragged and torn, sweat stains. You can see some tears. Her hair was at one point done really well up, and now strands are just sort of flying everywhere. She has streaks across her face as she walks up to the center of this banquet hall right in front of the main elevated table in front of Lord Fulgray and Gunther with Wistan. And she is presented by this guard. Lord Fulgray, may I present Lady Viranesh of Viranesh Keep. And you can see she's clearly nervous. She's shaking from something. Can each of you give me a psych roll, please?
Yes.
9 plus 5, 14.
Okay. Anyone else? Ooh. It's like a kaiju dice on the globe there.
Did I roll the D20?
Yeah.
I can't even see what that is. Like squished down in the corner. I can't see it.
It's okay. You can look in the
Oh,
chat.
the chat.
So
A
it's-
4.
Dice.
So you're a little oblivious to this girl.
Great.
Did my dice roll? Let's see.
You did
I
2 to 20,
accidentally-
just do one, yeah.
I rolled a 1, so I
Gotcha.
got a total of 6. We'll take the first one.
Okay. So Errol and Sirius, both of you can tell that this woman is at the end of her ropes. She is terrified. You can just see the terror in her demeanor. The others of you, you either don't have a good view of her, or you're a little more absorbed in the delicious, rich sweets in front of you, or whatever. Maybe in conversations with people next to you.
About how far away is she?
From where you're sitting, probably, like, she had to pass by you to get to where she is standing in front of the table. But, you know, you're looking at like 15 feet away from you.
I will stand up, approach, and put a comforting hand on her shoulder. And as I do so, I say under my breath, Perubahan bentok silencier. And I would like to calm her.
Okay. Are you trying to use magic to do that, or are you trying to just use your presence?
Yes. No, that was calm emotions.
Okay. So
functionally.
roll a d20 and use your wa. I always feel like I'm saying that wrong.
Wow.
Your wa. How's your wa doing?
Sounds to me like an
Or
orc.
you're damaging my wa. Disturbing my wa, even.
Ah.
Oh, that was 2. It double clicked. I apologize. But 14 was the first.
Okay. Roll for effect. Roll another 1d20.
$11.
Okay. You can see the guard stiffen a little as you approach. Not sure what this is all about, what you're going to do. As you walk up, you can see tear streaks down her face. Her eyes are burned red. You can see weather on her face, as if she's been writing all night or something like that. As you come up and whisper it, you're secretive enough that they don't see you making any hand gestures or anything to cast a spell, but you do see her significantly relax, find her breath, and she looks over at you and tells you, "Thank you very much, sir."
That's right, my dear. It's okay. Tell us what occurred.
Lord Fulgray seems a little bit frustrated that she hasn't said anything yet. He's a little impatient. You see him sort of thrumming his fingers on the table. And she calls out, "Gentle lords and ladies, I bring devastating news from the east. My father, who fought valiantly in the war and fell to the Blue Dragon army as so many of his brothers in arms, tasked his son, my brother, with reclaiming his keep and bringing honor and safety to his household and lands." Lord Fulgrate calls out, interrupting her,
My dear, really, we are in the middle of a banquet. Certainly, you can get to the point and stop with the formalities.
And almost immediately after he does his first throat clearing, Lord Gunther slams his fist on the table and stands up.
Lord Fulgrate, perhaps the drink has affected your politeness and courtesy. This young lady is clearly in distress and has traveled at her personal peril throughout the night to reach us. You will kindly hold your tongue.
And he turns to her. I apologize, my lady. I was not familiar with your father personally, but I know your family. Please continue at your own pace. And he looks over at Lord Fulgrate as he sits down. She begins. Thank you, my lord. She is visibly starts to shake again as she's reliving these images. Earlier this day, we noticed on the horizon, riding fast from the east, dust clouds, and as they approached, I don't know how to say this, the dead are riding on my keep. My brother sent me to get help. You are the closest of any significance. I beg you. There is no possible way that they can withstand what we saw riding toward us. Please, can you send someone to help us? We need your assistance desperately.
I accidentally knock over my cup or chalice that's at the table at the mention of the dead riding. It brings back memories of the invasion on Palanthas.
You hear almost a record scratch as one of the musicians just goes, "Whirr," as you drop that, and everyone turns over the hall as it echoes towards you. And Lord Gunther stands back up.
Well, I would say that is you volunteering, young man. What was your name again?
Errol Kelson, my lord.
Stand up, sir.
I am flushed at now everyone's looking at me, I'm assuming, and yeah. I'm like now fidgeting with my armor a little bit while I'm basically I look over to Lord Gunther and I make an apologetic like sorry they're acknowledging me in front of your presence, and then
I'm not worthy.
Yes, sir. I volunteer if it is necessary.
Well, I'm not entirely.
And then I immediately stand up too, and I'm like, I'm going too.
I put my hand on his shoulder and try to slowly. Thank you, Delta.
My name is Delta Leafdown.
And I try to push
yes.
him back down.
Errol here is my friend, so I'm going with him to fight the undead because I'm not afraid of anything.
My face has turned purple.
Lord Fulgrate does his famous cough talk. He's like,
well, I think that's a fantastic idea. Anything to get the Kender out of our city. Yes, Knight. A great choice. You have worked with me in the past, and you've always come through quite well. Will anyone else be joining him?
Of course! So I stand up from my table to leave my wine, and I come and join Errol and Delta by their side. And I will be joining them. As we have journeyed and adventured before in the past, I know these two to be brave men.
As you walk past toward them, you walk past the gentleman who sort of approached you on the dance floor that you scared away, and you can see him like duck and shudder a little bit as you walk by him. He's a little bit shaken by the threat of a dagger.
I look over at Laurel and I say, thank you. I know because of your dedication to Habakkuk that we will have great success. He is one of the patron gods of my order.
And you just tell the best stories whenever we're making camp for the night.
The best.
And if my lord would like someone to supervise, then I would be happy to shepherd these individuals.
I think that's a fantastic idea. Serious play would be a good addition to this party.
And you see young lady Viranesh just turn to you and just sort of wrap you in her arms as she just begins weeping anew. Thank you so much. We must leave immediately. If they can survive, it's not going to be for long. And Lord Gunther calls out, I'm sure Lord Fulgrate would be willing to donate some fresh horses with tackle in order to get there as quickly as possible. This is serious business. And Lord Fulgrate's like, I don't really like to, but I'd say, yes, of course. Page, get over here. Take them to the stables and have them set up with whatever they need. We must take care of this immediately. And he's like, start clapping his hands. The ceremony must commence. Up in arms, dance perhaps. Let's everyone enjoy themselves. And it's just no one moves. Lord Gunther staring at him like, what are you talking about? This is a serious issue, and you just want to get back to the festival. Clearly, this guy has no social graces at all. And the page approaches Sirius, and he's like waving for the three of you. This way, says.
As we leave, I drop the buttons I was collecting that Fulgrate had popped off, and I put them right in front of him, and I say, here you go, and then I run out.
I will extricate myself from the very uncomfortably weeping woman and hand her off to a page.
Yeah, you can see at this point, once the page sort of takes control of her, she realizes what just happened a little bit more, and she starts to recompose herself, and she is just thanking all of you collectively and individually so much as she is running in front of the page to try to hurry you guys along the way. You arrive at the stable, and let's see here. Delta, can you roll a psych check for me?
Absolutely.
So
that is a 4 + 5. That is a 9.
Okay. So for everyone else watching this at home who may not be familiar with XD20, there are 3 stats. TAC deals with everything physical. Strength, dexterity, constitution, etc. Psych deals with everything intellectual and emotional, intelligence, wisdom. WA deals with everything magical or lucky in nature. And so it's like every other D20 where you roll a 20-sided die, you add that score, and if you beat the target number, then you have successfully done whatever. So you rolled a 9. You seem to recall, this information is just for you to use however you see fit, but you seem to recall a Lord Viranesh from Tales of the War that you've heard from other Kender. He was an arrogant braggart who had ended up dying in the Kalaman campaign, and he was always talking about how important his family was because they had this ancient artifact in the family's possession passed down from the War of Might. Or, I'm sorry, from the Age of Might. Just as a little aside for you. You guys get to the stables, and he leads you to the finest horses that are sort of stabled. Not all of them belong to Lord Fulgrate, but they've all been taken care of and stabled here. So he's going to be given to you just because Lord Gunther said that he should, and he's going to listen to him, even over his own city magistrate. So you guys have everything you need as far as transportation. Again, this is just after sunset, so it is dark. You're going to be riding at night. There are not light posts to light your way once you leave the city. It is open wilderness. Is there anything you want to collect or bring or anything like that before you take off? You do know that Lady Viranesh is incredibly insistent about leaving as quickly as possible. And she also has a new horse because hers, when you look at the state of that thing, it is sweating all over its body. It's exhausted. It's panting, and it's trying to lap up as much water as possible as its hooves look like they've just been through hell.
I am very uncomfortable with her presence, especially since she's been upset. How
It's a
attractive?
girl.
Yeah, it's a girl, but is she like one of those attractive ladies, or
She
what's
was
her-
not really in her current state, but yeah.
But yeah, but it's like I'm so nervous about being around her
Mhm.
that I don't say anything, but I nod and I bow to her, and then I look at the others and go, shouldn't we gather provisions, supplies?
Oh, yeah, yeah. I look around. Are there any guards with, like, lanterns? Like, guys holding, like, hooded lanterns around?
You can find something.
All right. I just walk up to him, try to, like, pry the lantern out of his hand and start walking back.
He's like
towards-
moving his hand away from you. Do you want to
Oh.
roll a attack? Not
I'm not really
attack,
trying to
but
have-
a tack roll.
Yes, I'll make an attack roll. That is a 13.
Yeah, you like grab it and hold on. He's trying to lift. He's like, "What are you doing? Get away from me,
Oh.
vermin!"
No, hold on. Let me trade you. And I pull out, like, a little shiny rock, and I'm like,
He
right?
is so stupefied. He lets go. He's like, "Are you out of your mind? Give me my lamp back!"
Thank you. And I throw him the rock, and I start walking back towards the party.
Okay.
Guys, I found a lantern!
He's like doing like a quick like try to grab juggle thing with the rock as it drops, and he's like, "Wait, what? Huh? Where did you go? Come here!" He doesn't find you, but
Good
okay.
work,
So you
Delta.
find a lantern. It has like a bullseye little shutter on it, but it's open right now.
Well, this will help those of us non of elvish descent see a little bit better in the dark.
I have everything that I need stashed about my person.
Okay. Anyone else?
Is there a someone that we can approach that I can go to that's like a stable hand or something? We'll need some provisions. Can you gather any kind of iron rations or any water skins?
The page is like it's like 12-hour ride. I think you guys will be able to get to the keep without needing food. You just ate at the banquet, didn't you?
I don't know how long we'll be there. I just want to make sure we're prepared. I don't like to go into a situation where I might need supplies. I'd rather be prepared.
See,
and have them.
Lady Viranesh is on her horse, and she's sort of like nudging it toward you to sort of like have its hind side sort of nudge you a little bit as the page is like, "Sure, I can get you some. Hold on a second." And he sort of runs off. She's like, "Please, gentlemen, lady, please, let's fly. We need to get there quickly. They might not be alive."
These horses can
I am well
fly?
prepared to ride, my dear lady.
I'm
I am
trying to,
already mounted upon my steed.
Okay.
I'm
Cue
trying to
Monty
get up on a
Python
horse.
scene. Sorry,
Where'd you get the
Monty Python
coconuts?
scene.
Okay.
As soon as we get supplies, I will mount my horse.
So he comes back with a backpack, and he just sort of stuffs it in the saddlebags. You're not really sure what's in it. You're welcome to try to look through it or anything, but yeah, he just stuffed it
No.
in there.
I'm so uncomfortable with the situation. I want to get on the road as soon as possible. I don't like her looking at me anymore. So
Well, she immediately, as soon as that page sticks in your pack, and you sort of turn to look forward, she takes off. So I'd like you guys to all roll attack, and to see if you can handle your horses on this heavy charge out of the city.
I got a 22.
Whoa.
51. That seems incorrect.
Yeah, just do a 1d20. So when you hover over the dice thing, just click on the d20
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
okay, I got a 10 total.
Okay. Sirius, what'd you get?
That's a 13 for me.
Lowell?
A 10. But I add my tack onto that, right?
Yeah. So 14.
So 14.
And Delta, what'd you get?
22. 15 plus 7.
Wow. Okay. So you're like standing on it, just sort of showing off a little bit, having a hell of a time, while everyone else is just sort of gripping the reins and just hoping they don't fall off these things, and just barrels after her. You can see the beautiful sunset was because of those wonderful clouds that were, sort of playing with the light on the horizon, but they've turned into storm clouds, and you're riding directly into that storm. You have well over 5 or 6 hours if you're just going at a full out run pace. So you know that you're going to be hitting this weather sooner than later. But the course of the journey, she's not talking. She's trying to, this is difficult riding. And so she's just breathing as hard as the animal is as it's going. You can tell that she's clearly been on a horse her entire life, and she knows exactly what she's doing. You all are very proficient on horses as well, to whatever degree is sort of up to you. in your sort of backstory. But she's wildly impressive with this. Like, this was a lifestyle choice of hers, you know. Is there anything that you guys want to sort of deal with on the interim of this ride?
I turn over to Laurel and say, "Can you please give us a blessing from Habakkuk? I would feel much more comfortable if we had the will of the gods behind us."
Yes, absolutely. I will gladly bless the entire party as well as Lady Varanish.
Mm-hmm. So you know this is going to be rather difficult mounted on a charging horse, but go ahead and roll 1d20 and add your wa to it.
Yawa.
What's up?
A 9 plus an 8.
Okay. So 17 if my math is
how do I
math.
do the thingy on here where it like adds it, you know?
If you
The dice roller.
If you click the polyhedral, and then you should see there's an option for roll 1d20 plus. If you just put your modifier there, it'll automatically add it.
I don't see that at all.
I'm not seeing it.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta double click on the polyhedron, the dice, and it'll bring up a second dice roller
Oh, I
window.
see.
Ah, there it is.
oh.
Okay.
We're all learning this together. Not all of us. I certainly am. Okay, so it was 17. So you do feel like you had a connection. Let's roll for success and see how well you did with this spell. So a 1d20,
Just a regular
just regular 1d20.
1.
So you know through experience that this is more you doing it to placate the knight than it is to try to actually have any semblance of a spell cast. Everyone does feel a little bit better. They're not sure whether or not it's because you were successful or because they just want you to be successful. And so, you know, a god is looking after you. But everyone does feel a little bit better.
Good. Morale is boosted.
Successful and morale boost.
Slightly.
Okay. So the rest of the ride really goes kind of uneventful. At the 3/4 mark, at the very far distance, you can actually see the keep coming into view. Again, it is clouded and dark, but the keep itself does have torches on its battlements and lights around it. So it is slightly visible in the distance. I want you to all do let's do a attack check to see how you're handling the stress of this long of a ride and how the horse is. So just roll a 1d20 and add your attack. Your target number you're looking at is a 15, ideally.
I got a 9.
Total?
22.
One short.
A 20.
Okay. So the 9, is that Delta?
Yep.
Yeah, your showing off earlier has now like worn you down extra bad. At this point, you're like wrapping your hands around the mane of the horse, even though you don't really have to. You're like faces down there. You're just like, please don't kick me off. Oh my gosh, this is taking so long. And you're sort of, your legs, your thighs, and your sort of groin area is sore from bouncing on the horse at this speed and duration. Your legs are tired from trying to hold yourself up from bouncing on the saddle. You're sort of done. You just want this to be over.
I had one too many sweets at the feast, so I have a stomach ache, and it's not helping.
You're
You're not my friends.
Okay. So you
Roll
all
down the
arrive.
window, vomit on the side of the horse.
Maybe not all over the side of the horse.
Let me set this screen up and we will start there. I'm hoping this can be seen once I go live here. So I'm going to move you guys over and then I've got to add your tokens really quick. So give me 1 second.
Yes, we can see it.
This is nice.
I got to grab the right tool here. So again, you are still on your horses. Dang it. What is your riding order? Can you give me that while I finish setting this up?
I will ride up in front. Try to remain in front of the lady if I can, unless of course I can't catch her because she's so proficient at riding. But my goal is to try to be in front of the party to be able to be the first one to, if I do run into something, I am the first thing that they're going to hit.
Okay, so this is... Which one are you? I think this is you. So you try to get in front of her, and she doesn't seem to mind once you round the corner, because as soon as you enter this space, you see a row of skeletons crossing this sort of bridge toward the keep proper.
Right.
The horse rears back immediately, just in the presence of these undead creatures. You see bones with no flesh and cracks throughout. Some of them have piecemeal armor on them as they're just sort of slowly marching toward the entrance of the keep. You hear coming from within outside of the keep, this screaming, "Fuck you! What do you want? You already got it! Fuck you! You've already taken him! What are you doing? Oh God, help me!" Coming from the inside. So we don't have a sort of official initiative at this point. That's the setup. Who wants to do what right now?
I'm going to dismount and attempt to bless the party again to
Okay, go ahead and
enhance everybody's effects.
roll a
if I
WA
can.
for me.
All right, 1 moment. A 9!
Okay. And that's your total, or with... Oh, did you
That
roll a
is
1?
my total. I
Yep.
rolled a 1.
Okay, so as you jumped
lucky
off of the
number.
horse, a 1 is always a fail. So as soon as you jumped off the horse, you sort of like twisted your foot a little bit. You didn't sprain or anything, but you were not able to sort of concentrate or anything through the pain of that twisted ankle. Anyone else want to do
I
something?
lie writhing.
Yes.
You lay
No.
riding.
What are these that we are looking at here in front of?
So
Like on
these
the bridge?
are skeletons. I have them numbered. As you can see, the 5-4, that's just to
Yeah.
reference which skeleton you may want to look at or target or whatever. In front of them, you see similar looking but more heavily armored. What's terrible about this is that on the inside, you're hearing someone screaming, a female's voice of some sort, directed seemingly at this approaching mass of people. But these creatures make no sound other than the grinding of their cartilage. You're hearing the water sort of sloshing a little bit underneath the drawbridge there. The storm clouds are coming, and it's sort of creating this dampening effect, which sort of adds to the creepy aura of this entire scene. You all have seen and fought undead before, so this is not something new, but it's never something you get used to.
So I'm going to reach into an inside pocket of my robe and pull out a ball of spider cocoon, hold it in my hand, and one
Gross.
second. Utzila kazem vin kirem tapu kayavi. As I cast web.
Ooh.
Okay. So from where you are, go ahead and just roll a WA for me.
When I hear the magic words being cast, I like immediately like hunker down, like, oh no, what's gonna happen?
Everyone cover their butts.
Hold on to your butts.
That was 4.
You rolled a total of 4?
No, a 24.
Oh, sorry. Couldn't hear. Okay, so let's roll for effect. And did you say where you were targeting this this spell?
Centered into the large mass of them on the bridge there.
Okay.
So I guess is shift clicking the
If you just click on it with the yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So centered on number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you recite the spell, you feel magic coursing through your veins, and everyone can, like, the hair on your arms and the back of your neck starts to raise a little. You don't overtly feel the magic, but you can feel something stirring in the air that adds to this already unnatural and terrifying scene in front of you. And you see this force just sort of propel from him, and barely visible at all, as right in the center here, this sort of splat occurs, and this web sort of sticks around these creatures. So let me draw, let's see, what can I do here to indicate this? How do you do aura? Can anyone tell me how to do that?
Aura, you want to right click on them,
Oh, I see it.
and then go to edit. And when you're in edit, if you scroll down to the bottom, I believe aura is in the.
Okay, I got you. Yep. So you can see it sort of splatted out right where it is. It's affecting the sort of cross of the 4 people above and to the side of him. What about you, Delta? What do you want to do?
So did the web get all of them, or is there one that's like kind of out of the web?
From where you're standing, it looks like it's covered the majority of the people in front of the targeted creature right now. But again, you don't really have the best viewpoint. You can tell that there are some skeletons behind there that are not affected.
Okay.
So you can tell for sure that number 4 and number 7 are not affected at all.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna run up, probably like maybe right here.
Okay. Well, you can move your token.
Oh yeah, I'll just move right here, and I'm gonna taunt these skeletons. I'm gonna say, "Hey, boneheads, over here!"
Okay. So in the back of your mind, you realize these are not sentient creatures. They're sort of like simplistic, one-note commands, but you have experience annoying the best of people. So let's have you roll your psych and see what happens.
All right.
And the deadest of people.
There's a 16 plus 5, a 21.
Okay, how about you give me a roll for effect?
Oof, that's a 7.
Okay. So you're shouting out this insult. You can actually see this skeleton just sort of stop and turn around. He doesn't look like he's doing anything, but he definitely heard you.
Come and get me!
You see Lady Jezebel, and I'll get to you in just one second, Aaron. This turn order thing is killing me, so I'm just going to sort of riff here. You see Lady Jezebel just screaming out at the horror of what she sees. As soon as she sees that web splat, she sort of backs up and stumbles back into her horse. Her horse rears up and sort of screeches out as, like, "Yeah!" like out of fear, like someone said, Frau Blucher or something. And the horses all together just like run off into the night. Blucher!
All right.
All right. What are you doing, man?
I gotta get in front of the party. Now a question on my shield brother. Do I have to just be next to them, adjacent for that bonus, or do I have? Can I? Okay. I'm going to stand in front of the Kender, and basically fumble pulling out my sword because in my mind I'm remembering banshees coming over the walls in Palanthas, and even though it's not something that I've seen these kind of creatures before, it always brings back that kind of haunting. I pull my sword out and I just basically stand in front. I am having an issue clicking on and controlling my character though.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not letting me move him. So if you could put me right in front of Delta. And can I just basically ready an action to, as soon as a creature comes within striking distance, I will attack it, but my goal is to protect Delta.
Oh, yeah, give me 1 second. I want to make sure you can actually move your own guy. I added you on the wrong one. Okay. I hope you don't have to reload the page in order to have that affected.
I got it.
Okay. So you move right in front of him.
Yes, I do.
As Errol steps in front of me, I say, "All right, yeah, both of us on the front lines," and I draw one of my daggers.
Brothers in battle. All right.
Carrie Joliffe, please grant me strength.
You can hear from within the keep. The screaming continues as and from the distance on the other side of these creatures as they're crossing this drawbridge, you see this clearly distraught woman running up, and she's like trying to grab the lever in order to pull down the gate that had been open this entire time. And she doesn't seem to be being successful, but the whole time she's shaking and she's screaming, "Fuck you! Get out of here! What are you doing? What do you want? You've already taken him! You've already taken everything!" You can see she's actually hurt a little bit. There's a little bit of blood mixed with her sweat and tears. All right, so let's go back. What are you going to do, Cirrus?
So,
I'm sorry, the creatures. Hold on. I apologize. Yeah. So these... Oh my goodness. I should just not touch anything. So this cross of skeletons are not seeming able to move at all. They're sort of like wrestling around with themselves. This guy right here, you can see, moves forward, and you see him pull out, I guess his sword was already out, and he sort of takes a swipe, and it just cuts right into he rolled a 1. Cuts right into the stick that she was trying to pull down, and the gate comes falling down right on top of him and just crushes him underneath the gate. This skeleton figure comes running up right in front of the gate and just starts bashing against it. This one, oh, come on now. This one turns around and moves toward you here. He's going to take a swipe at you.
Do I get to take an action beforehand or after him?
Yeah, because you did say you were prepping something, right? You were waiting?
Yeah, I'm just going to take a swing at the first creature that comes within striking distance.
All right, roll a attack.
All right, that's a 27.
Oh.
Roll for effect.
And that's just a normal d20, right?
Yeah.
12.
Okay. So he just starts approaching you as he's lifting his sword. You just reach out and just... What weapon are you using?
I am pulling out longsword.
Okay. So with your longsword, you swipe at him. You can see his arm that was holding a small buckler just drop right off of his body. He sort of looks down, like, what just happened? As your sword continues into his ribs, and it cracks, like cuts like some of the ribs off as it sticks into him just for a second. That was number what? What number guy was that? 4. Okay. This guy turns around and moves forward to you as well. He's going to strike at you. He's got this sort of rusty old mace. I hope you've had a tetanus shot if he hits you.
Oh.
He rolled a 1 too. Wow. Lots of 1s in this game. You see him swing, but you easily deflect it. Do you have a shield?
Yes, correct.
So
I'm
you just
actually
easily...
holding my grandfather's shield.
Oh, nice. Easily deflect it with the shield, and he sort of loses his balance a little bit and stumbles off to the side here as you sort of just nudge him off with the shield using his own momentum. And this skeleton moves up and past you a little bit. For whatever reason, he's staring at that Kender, and he wants a little bit of Kender in his life. He rushes up and he takes a swipe at you. He's got a nasty old rusty looking sword. He connects with you just barely, and you take 2 damage.
All right.
So you can either keep track of that on your character token here, or you can keep track of it on your character sheet.
I will be keeping track on my token then.
Okay.
Actually, no. I'll just do a pen and paper because I don't want to bother with Roll20 right now.
Gotcha.
Messing with stuff.
That's okay. All right, Steers, you're up.
All right, so we are still mounted, yes?
No, the horses actually, okay, so yes. Some of you declared that you dismounted. Those of you who didn't, just when the horses got spooked, chose the better option of sliding off the back of the horse as it was barreling away and losing control. So sorry I didn't address that.
That's fine. So I would like to move.
Can you control your guy?
There. And from here now, this bridge, is it blocking line of sight for me? Like, can I see over the crenellations?
Yes.
I am going to put my hands together and splay my fingers out. Oh, come on. I know I have it. I'm going to basically cast Burning Hands.
Yes.
So I will make a law roll, yes?
I'm sorry, you were doing what?
Burning Hands.
Gotcha.
Functionally.
And who are you targeting?
Well, basically I just want a line of fire. So like Scorcher, something like that.
Toward the ring here?
Toward the bridge. So like making an arrow
Actually, I don't
like
see.
that way. Yeah, I'm seeing if I can get this to draw correctly.
Is it in this?
There's a ruler tool.
Like those two.
Oh, you're trying to do a wide arc, trying to hit
Yeah,
number 5
just hitting like
and number 4?
the two that are lined up there.
Okay. I'm going to clear the drawings real quick. Okay, so go ahead and roll WA.
That is a 12.
Okay, let's roll for effect.
Three.
Okay. So you misjudged the distance a little bit, but you did see that it washed slightly over number 4, and it didn't quite reach out to number 5. So number 4 had already taken some damage. Okay.
I scream out real quick, "Are you serious? You're going to burn my mustache off!"
He's like, yeah, that's my name. In fact,
This
I
is serious business.
Stay out at night. All right, Lul, what do you want? What do you want to do?
So am I not like that badly injured to?
Yeah, no. It was just something that disrupted your spell.
Okay, so I'm moving over next to Delta. I believe that's who that is.
Hello.
So I have like a medallion for turning undead. What does that mean?
Roll a WA check. 1d20 and add your WA.
What does it do though?
Oh, well, turning undead.
turn
If you're
undead.
successful, it can either make them flee from you, or if you're good enough, it can make them just destroy on the spot.
Oh, I'm gonna use my medallion. Okay, so I use my WA. Let's do
Wah.
8. Oh, and that is +8. Okay,
Like a
rolling.
Bruce Lee WA.
A total of 19. So I guess I'm targeting, that skeleton that's like kind of in front of me.
Okay. And then roll for effect, so just a d20.
You lad, 17.
Very nice. So
Evil undead.
you brandish the holy medallion and you call out to Branchala to get rid of these beasts, these torments of life that should never have existed in the first place. And you can see this one immediately turns around and just starts running right into the web and just sort of gets itself stuck in with the rest of them. Actually, this one as well sees you brandish it, and he turns and just flees in this direction.
Oh, where is he going?
So
Okay.
he's on break. He's union. So Lady Jezebel Viranesh, she is running up behind you, just to sort of basically cover, to be honest. But she's shouting out for her sister. Elspeth, are you okay? And you can hear Elspeth inside just openly crying as she's like holding the grate and just sort of, thankful for her life that it actually closed. And she just calls back, they took him! And she just crumples down on the ground, just crying in fetal position. And Jezebel just sort of gasps, no, oh God, no. All right, so Delta, what's up?
All right. I am going to sneak past. Well, not sneak. I'm just going to walk past.
Just boldly, like
Errol. Yep. Just
Colin
walk past-
McGregor.
Yep. And then I'm just going to walk up. I'll say like here. So is the web flammable?
I would assume so, but you don't have a ton of experience with webs, I wouldn't imagine.
I was just thinking. I think Delta is thinking if I can start a big enough fire, I might be able to do some damage to these skeletons.
Okay.
So I want to take out my tinderbox. I put my pipe in my mouth, I take out my tinderbox, and I walk up to the web and I start striking my tinderbox.
Everyone's like,
Try to catch it on fire.
what?
Hold on, the wind's bad this way.
You know what? Roll attack.
All right. That's a natural one. That's a natural one.
Okay, as you're
Thank you. Please don't set my web on fire.
as you roll for effect.
All right. That's a 16.
Okay. So as you take out your tinderbox, a little bit of fluid falls down onto your pant leg, and as you're striking, you actually light your leg on fire a little bit. You take 1 point of damage before you're able to sort of kick it and sort of wipe it out.
Mm-hmm.
That is the effects of one. A successful one, a very successful one.
What a tragedy.
I do light my pipe though. I light my pipe and I'm just standing there.
Before
arms
you put
crossed,
your
looking.
pant out, you just lift your leg a little.
I light it and then I put my pant out and I'm just staring at the web and I'm like, I don't know how we're gonna get past this web.
Wish we had a gnome. I'm sure they could figure this out.
Yeah. We'll be talking our ear off though.
All right, Errol.
Re-kill the things in it.
I look over at Laurel and I say, "Great work!" And as I rush forward in front of Delta, I basically am going to take a swing at the back of that skeleton. I'm going to ignore the two skeletons that just ran off into the night.
Right. Okay. Move your guy up and give me an attack roll.
Right. Position myself. Also, I don't know if I need to announce it, but I'm still using Shield Brother and to defend Delta.
Okay.
And I just bring an overarching swing from my sword just right into his back as hard as I can. Hopefully not fumbling.
No whammy, no whammy.
25.
Oh, yeah. Give me an effect.
Woo!
10.
This is a number 5. You were cleaving right into its back. His shoulder blade, it goes all the way through the collarbone. One whole quarter of its body sort of breaks down, and it can't really move. The pieces of bone drop away from their connection to him, but they're still kind of stuck in the web. And you can just see it just sort of, again, no sound other than the crunching of the bone as your sword flies through it like a hot knife through butter. And it just sort of stays there and doesn't really do anything. I mean, you clearly hurt the thing, but it is stuck. So, okay, who hasn't gone yet? I think the heroes have gone, these creatures. So this guy up here is just trying to batter down the actual gate. And he's hitting it. He just doesn't seem to be doing anything. This skeleton that was crushed by the gate is actually still like clawing a little bit, but it's crumpled so much that it's really kind of just like the flipping of a hand as it's trying to like grasp at something to get itself free. These things are clearly not very intelligent. This one that you sort of deflected turns back around. And as it's turning, notices this dainty little delicate morsel and charges over to Lady Jezebel and swings its mace at her, striking her. So,
Can I shield her?
how about you, with what? How are you going to do that?
Oh goodness. Do I have? I have a flute and an amulet and the medallion. So.
Or just come up. I mean,
Maybe
can you
not.
just come up with an inventive way of doing it? Anyone want to help?
You could
So,
cast like a
um,
ward spell.
yeah,
So
is
you
that
didn't
something I can
prepare
do?
anything in advance. If you just want to try to like lunge out in front of her, that would probably be the best that you could do in order to protect her. Go ahead and give me a tack roll. Just add your tack to the D20.
An 18. I
Roll.
am attempting to protect the lady.
Roll for effect. Another D20. Okay. So you actually lunge in front of her so much that you actually knock her back a little bit, and the damage that was going to hit her is greatly reduced as he barely grazes her, and she takes a scratch on her shoulder, but she clearly did not take the full brunt of that attack. You can actually see
Okay.
these skeletons are starting to break out of that web as the spell is naturally starting to degrade over time. And let's go right back up. Oh, this skeleton continues to run. Let me see really quick. Let's get him over here. Okay. So, who wants to go? What do you got? Delta?
I could try something. All right, I'm gonna turn around and notice that skeleton was harassing the lady.
Careful, she'll
and
pull a
I'm
knife on you.
No, I'm just
The
gonna run up.
lady.
I'm gonna run up from behind and kind of try to like get this guy, not with like a sneak attack, but like I'm running up behind him and trying to just like jab a dagger into his skeletal back.
Okay. Give me attack.
No, it's not lethal, but I might like disassemble him a little bit. That is a 24.
Roll for effect.
14.
Nice. This is number 6. So you run up behind this thing and just jab your blade and it just goes right in between its body. But as you're like shaking it around, trying to get it back out, it's like pulling ribs off and it's like joints of his spine are being twisted and tweaked out of alignment. And it's just sort of like crumples it up from behind. You actually hurt it significantly for that.
Ugh.
Well done.
All right.
All right, Sirius, what you got?
All right, let us try this again. From there, I step up, again, spread my hands, and oh shit! Is that one of us that's right in front of him?
This is Errol, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So if we have somebody in melee, I'm not going to cast a spell on the remaining group.
Okay, so what did you want to do?
Well, I will shout, "Make a hole," and
Make a hole.
hold.
Do you need me to move? Is that what you're trying to?
Yeah.
He's like,
Okay.
Line
stupid
of fire.
knight.
Okay. Can I shift or so to make room for him to do a shot?
Yeah.
Knowing from our previous experiences, I don't want to be enveloped in whatever he's going to do, whatever arcane craziness is going to come next.
He's
I
like,
step out of the way.
I'm doing
And
another
and
Plains of Dust.
I hold up my shield, expecting something bad to happen.
More fire.
Delta just kind of turns around and is like, did somebody say the plains of dust?
So what spell are you casting? What are you trying to do?
Again, burning hands.
Okay.
Just simple,
Give me a watch check.
simple damage. I'm not a specialist in the undead, but I know that fire is pretty well effective. That's a 15.
Let's do a roll for effect.
That would be a natural 20.
Oh!
Oh,
Nice.
So you tell me what happens.
So I stretch my hands out, and flame bathes the front edge, which then sets off the remaining strands of web in a cascade of fire that stops just short of the castle gates.
Very nice. You see this skeleton number 4 crumple and fall down dead. Just delete. This is number 5. Falls down dead. Go away. There's a duplicate. All right, number 2 is a little bit residual hit by just the burning hands as well, but then the web goes up, and he takes some, as well as number 1, number 3, and number... What? Is there two number 2s? Oh, well, that's the different creature. Okay, and it exceeds the regular distance. You were so effective that it actually reached up and sort of tickled the gate itself. It didn't go past the gate, but it did catch this guy just a little bit. Okay. Very well done.
And then with a snap, the flames subside,
Right.
cast back into the intradimensional space from whence they came.
Nice.
Cool.
How did we do this aura again? I want to remove that. Ah, here it is. Okay.
That having been accomplished, I would then like to take a little bit of cover.
Yeah, probably that'll give you just a little bit. If you moved 1 up square, that would, that's on a slight down slope, so it would give you a little bit more cover, but you're probably fine where you are. Everyone just witnesses this sort of a spell that you've seen him cast before, just ignite into an inferno virtually right in front of your eyes, and a momentary bonfire just ignite these skeletons as some of them literally crumple down to dust in front of your eyes. Something that you have not seen before. Lady Jezebel is screaming, "Yeah! Kill him! Kill him!" Just sort of overcome. Now she knows she's protected by you guys, and that you seemingly are doing so well. She's now just sort of acting as a cheerleader of sorts. She does, however, move to this side of the lamppost, sort of on the other side of these little bushes here, away from that terrifying skeleton.
It is after dark, is it not?
It is.
So
We're
I
in
would
the
imagine
early hours of the
Lunatari
morning.
just sort of rose.
Okay, nice. So everything is bathed in a little bit of red, just sort of cascading across the water. It looks almost like blood. It's just adding, again, it's being filtered through the clouds, so it's not as bold as maybe it would normally be if it was a clear night, but it just adds to the creepy atmosphere that you guys are in right now. You hear weeping continued coming from the other side of this grate. She starts like kicking at the hand that's like twitching in front of her, that's like sort of pinned down from the grate of this keep. Who is up? Laurel, what do you want to do? Lul?
Let's see. Lul, yes. So I don't know if it's apparent or not, but I have like no D&D experience. So the skeleton that's next to me, I want to banish him with holy light, if that's a thing. Any assistance is greatly appreciated. And what spells I'm
That's totally, I like that. Okay,
attempting.
so you're calling down divine light from Branchala itself. Give me a Wa check.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I think that Delta just starts bracing himself a little
14.
bit.
Like, ooh, here it comes. 14? Okay, give me a roll for
Yes.
effect.
Let me know when it starts.
Here it comes.
Yes, 6.
6? Okay. So you do see light emanating from your medallion, and you are effective in calling down this divine light. It's just not as potent as you were hoping for. It does sort of come down, it sort of parts through the clouds like this sort of divine Habakkuk light spills down over this creature, and you don't hear a cry from it because it doesn't have anything to cry out with, but you do hear the grinding of cartilage as it sort of twists and contorts a little bit. So you did hurt it. That was number 6. Oh, okay.
So
It
while
is-
he's
it's
all
hurting.
like clearly hurting with the holy light, am I able to like bash him, kick him, and punch him?
Yeah, I mean, with your body, you can sort of move forward and just, try to like smack him forward if you want to try to do that. Give me a quick tack check. Normally, when it comes to physical attacks, we only want to do 1. You were just calling on your divine light, so I don't mind if, you're not moving or anything. You just sort of like push him out of the way or something.
Okay, 22
Roll for effect.
total. 14.
Okay. So you have been, this skeleton has been taking a lot of damage from a number of people. And you just sort of like push it back. The terrain under its feet's a little uneven. It's missing some ribs. Its spine's a little conjoined. The divine light crushed its cartilage down together a little bit more. It looks like it could use a glass of milk to help strengthen its bones at this point. And it just sort of stumbles back and falls on its back in the same space that it was in before, but now it's prone on its back.
Okay.
So who has not gone this round?
I don't think I've gone.
Errol, you're up.
Okay, so my jaw has dropped. I am like so surprised at the power that Sirius used. I'm like taken aback for a second. And I'm like, even
You
though
are
my
great.
prejudices,
Yeah.
my yeah, just even though my prejudice against magic or arcane magic is kind of like I don't really trust it or like it a whole lot. I'm like, that was amazing. And then I shake my head and I just charge forward again, going towards the center skeleton and try to see if I can do anything to kill it. Do you guys have that one back there? I yell.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I got him.
They're all, us? Yeah, we're good, man.
Totally got this under
No
control.
worries.
Okay, so I strike at the center one.
All right, give me an attack check.
26.
Roll for effect. It's number 2.
8.
Okay. Yeah, you cut into it. It has taken some burning damage. It was hit by the web. And it took a little bit of damage before that, but it's still standing, and you can't really tell the severity just because it's a skeleton. It's it's missing pieces of its body and stuff already. But you did hurt it. Okay. Anyone else? Is that everyone on our turn? The skeletons. This guy turns around. That's you. All right. Well, anyway, he's going to turn down and attack you. Wow. So he hits you. Roll for effect. You take 5 damage.
5 damage. Okay.
This guy is going to just turn around and attack you as well. He's using his sword. Hits. Oh, and you take like 7 damage from him.
Oh wow.
How are you doing right now? You hurting?
I'm at 12.
This guy right here turns around to attack. 7.
In good old 4th edition standards, I'm bloodied.
You take 2 damage from this one.
Okay.
This guy can't seem to get through to you, and then he notices this other skeleton up. He runs up to the grate, and together they both reach down and try to start lifting that grate. You can tell visibly a difference between these two and the crushed one versus the ones you've been killing. Like, there is something about it. It's not like an aura. It's just they look more powerful. They look in control compared to these skeletons. And you actually see the grate between the two of them move up an inch. Not enough to open it or do anything, but an inch. So they're moving. At that, you hear the lady on the inside, Elsbeth, scream out and start crab crawling back on her back, just sort of away from everyone else through that grate. Freaking out, crying, tears staining her face. And let's go back to the top. Delta, what do you want to do?
All right. I look at Lul and I say, "Can you handle this one?"
This crumpled mess right here. Yes, of course.
I thought I already
she
did.
Handle it.
Even before Lul responds, like, I am running up the bridge to get next to Errol, and I am just gonna go for this skeleton directly in front of me with my dagger.
Do your worst. Tackle.
All right. That is a 15.
That's a hit. Roll for effect.
See here? 19.
Nice. So that's number 3. It was attacking Errol. It immediately turns its head to you as you jab your dagger up into the cavity of its skull here. And as you rip it back out, the hilt of your dagger grabs its jaw and rips its jaw off. And so it's just sort of sitting there without a bottom jaw, just the upper teeth, just silent and kind of unnerving as its hollow ocular cavities just glare at you.
I pick up his jaw from the floor and I put it into my bag, not breaking eye contact with the sockets.
Save
Gross.
this for later.
I'll hold on to this for you.
Serious? You want to do something?
I have been calling heavily upon the powers of the arcane, and I am rather winded at the moment.
Okay.
So I am going to let the fighters fight. I am not the kind to get all up in somebody's business.
Right. Smart. That's why you're still alive. Okay. Lady Jezebel starts inching up toward you. She's like, do it again. Do that fire thing again. Kill them. Kill them all. She's sort of frenzied at this point, not really thinking straight, but you know she just wants you to do something. She's not physically touching you, but she's sort of like nudging and urging you verbally. Lul, what you got?
All right. So clearly, Errol is damaged and fighting against these skeletons. So I ask Errol, would you recommend me to attempt healing you in this battle, or is this something that I should wait until after the battle is finished? What?
Do whatever your god tells you to do. Keep eating.
You can tell he's in the middle of fighting 3 skeletons at once right now. So he's like, what are you talking about? Do whatever you got to do.
Going to totally attempt to send you some healing.
So you know you're going to have to move up to
Magic.
him.
Yeah.
Some close proximity.
I'm right there now.
And then roll Wa. Check, D20.
Righty then. To heal my companion.
Whoa.
Oh!
28!
Wow.
Yes!
Oh, natural 20. Roll for effect.
Nat 20, yeah.
Yes. Do the effect as well?
Yeah, roll for effect. Just D20.
Yeah, 13!
Okay. So a natural 20, you absolutely healed every one of his wounds. Delta, you get healed 2 hit
Excellent.
points.
Wow.
There's just this blast of light that just radiates out from you, and it just sort of covers a little bit of Delta, and his burn scars just heal away and feel a little better.
Oh,
Cool.
thank you.
Your god
do
doesn't
what I can.
Your god doesn't do tailoring? My pants are still singed. Thank you, though. I appreciate it.
Next time, try a little harder, huh? It's funny. All right, so these creatures, then, this guy stands up. He doesn't even stand up. He just starts crawling toward Lady Jezebel, and he's like clawing at her from the ground. Oh, wow. He actually grabs her and is like tearing flesh and pulls her to the ground. And she sort of crumples a little bit. She reaches out to try to grab you, Cirrus, to help brace herself, but she can't get a hold. And, you know, your robe's just like slightly moved by her trying to pull down on you. And she just drops to the ground. You can tell her leg is bloody and such. This one is going to be attacking Delta.
All right.
And he is just like reaching up at his jaw. He's not even really paying attention to you anymore. He's just like, no sound or anything, just the grinding of bones as it clearly looks like he's looking for his jaw. Not that he could actually put it back on, but it is a piece of him and he wants it. Can you
I have
blame
it in
him?
my hand right here. I'm like taunting him a little
Is
bit.
that what you
with
want? It's like a rib. You just start. This one attacks Errol. And completely just bounces right off of your shield as it tries to swing at you. This one connects with you, Errol. And you take 4 damage.
Kick 4.
You feel freshly renewed, however. These two continue trying to lift that grate. Oh, wow. So you can see it moving up. It's about a foot off the ground at this point. And the skeleton that was pinned just sort of pulls itself off the top of the grate, drops down, and is like pulling like through the grate. It's not quite all the way through, but you can see, and it's still a little bit connected in some of its bones. Some of them are just sort of falling off by the wayside. What number is that? I can't see on my screen. 1. So you see it is making its way out from under the grate itself. Okay. Okay, so let's go back to the top. Did everyone go? Delta, I think you're up.
All right. You said it's about a foot that those skeletons have lifted up the grate, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, God. What, Kender are like 3 feet tall, like 3.5?
Is your plan to
I was going to try to dive under the grate, like run up and dive under the grate and try to like get to the lever, like try to open and then close it, like not super quick, but throw these skeletons off balance.
Well, you did notice that the lever was broken when that skeleton went to try to attack the lady on the other side of it. It broke the lever, which caused it to spin down, so you wouldn't be able to lift it up or down anymore. But if you want to try to like slide under, that would be an attack.
And it would be a fantastic distraction.
All right, I'm gonna run towards the grate, and I'm like yelling at the skeletons the whole time, like, "Hey, I'm right here! Come and get me!" And I'm gonna try to like tactical roll under this grate.
Move yourself up right behind the skeleton in the very front that's selected.
All right, and that is 15.
Right up here, yeah. So you're underneath this sort of walk area.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
A
right
15?
Here. Yep.
Roll for effect.
A 13.
Okay. Okay. So you just sort of you're so proficient with sort of squeezing your way out of guards' grasps and out of jail cells and through sewers in order to get into cities. This is nothing for you. You just run up and you just sort of slide a little bit. As you're sliding on your back, you turn around and waving at everyone that's behind you as you sort of just squeeze underneath the gate. So you literally are right next to this skeleton that's sort of caught up in it. You just slide right past him. Yeah.
Oh, and I look at the lady inside and I say, "Hello."
She's just like stupefied.
My name is Delta Leafdown, at your service.
Hold out your hand. All right. Serious. Anything you want to do?
Seeing that the lady has been grappled by this undead creation,
right?
And the two are in close quarters, I need something that has a bit of accuracy. So I fire forth a magic missile from my hand with the incantation Kalith Kalan Tobaniskar.
Nice. What?
Wow.
There's a roll before that.
What did you say?
Pardon me for just a moment. There we go. 15.
Okay, roll for effect.
That'd be a 12.
Okay, you see, as soon as you finish the last word of the spell, the missile itself just formalizes and just hits it and obliterates all of the bones, blasting them apart. You have to sort of shield your face a little bit from just splinters flying everywhere. Jezebel just starts shaking and crying, thanking you, just and starts kicking at the remains that are like on her dress and just sort of wiping off. It's like, fuck you, fuck you. You're sort of freaking out a little bit.
Good, that'll keep her occupied. Let's go forward.
Are you going to move somewhere? Or?
I will come up behind the rest of the group.
Okay. Errol.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my shield, hilting it up and just like get it ready, and I'm going to just bull rush the skeleton to the right, the one right here.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to knock him off the bridge if possible.
Okay.
It looks like
tact.
there's a little opening right there.
Yeah.
Oh, 11.
11. Okay. Give me a roll for effect. Because you hit him. It's just
18.
okay. You do. You reach forward. You thrust your shield out. You hit it. It sort of like gets knocked up against the edge, and for a second, you're not sure if it's going to go over or not. And then it sort of grabs the outside edge of that, and it's sort of hanging on the end of it.
Well, that'll have to do for now.
Laurel? Or Lul, did you go?
Lul. Yeah, so
I'll get it someday.
Kind of like the tactic that Errol was going for there, and I'm going to attempt to knock the. How'd you do the ping on the map here?
You just use your mouse as long as you have the selection tool, the arrow clicked. You can just click anywhere on the map, and it will do a.
This guy, yeah, I'm gonna attempt to like. knock him off the
Everyone
bridge.
just clicked. So this one right here?
That guy.
Okay.
To the
Attack.
What is it?
So it's just a 1d20 and add your attack.
Nice.
A 22.
Well done. Roll for effect.
Okay. Five.
Okay. So you're going to have to move up to it, but you knock it off, and it doesn't even have a chance to grab as it splashes into the red-tinted water below. You see this.
Ha! Farewell, sucker.
Okay. So these two skeletons are going. Oh, wait. Everyone went, right?
Masterfully done.
So. Okay. So it like the grate itself raises a little bit. You see one of them like get its shoulder underneath it as it's crouched down and it's trying to stand up. It's still under 2 feet off the ground, but he's trying to hold it so they can squeeze underneath. You can tell there's constant pressure, downward pressure on top of him, though. This skeleton attacks you, Errol.
Okay.
It misses you. This one's gone. Let me remove him. That was 6. Let's see. This guy pulls himself off and he reaches out and tries to strike Delta from the ground with his hands. He actually claws at you and makes contact with your skin. Oh, shit.
Oh.
So he like claws off some of your skin with his incredibly tough, gauntleted, spiked fingers. You take 5 damage as it rakes down your leg.
Didn't see you there. That's a nice hello.
At least buy me dinner first. This guy climbs back up for his turn, and you can hear sploshing coming from underneath the bridge.
That's what I figured.
This creature, this woman, sort of runs out of view from everyone. And that's where we are. We see Lady Jezebel. She runs up to here, and she's shouting like way too close in your ear. Get that one! Knock it back down! Knock it back down! All right, so let's start from the top. Delta, what you got?
The guy that just got me.
You
I
got
think I'm
got.
just gonna go at him with my I'm gonna go at him with my dagger. I'm just gonna try to, gravity just.
Okay. Attack.
All right. Attack roll. That is a 13 plus 7, 20.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Roll for effect.
Okay. That is an 11.
Okay. You, which number is that? 1. Okay, you actually notice that it was already in pieces, and so as you're sort of pummeling at it with your dagger, you can see it's not the most effective way to attack these ostensibly bag of bones, but it had already suffered enough damage that by the time you're finished just sort of, jabbing at it, it's not moving at all anymore. It's just laying there. It was already lifeless, but unlifeless.
I got one.
We got one!
Yes. Well done.
And it disappears. Poof. All right. Who wants to go next? What do you got?
I'll go ahead and try to finish what I started,
All right.
and I'm going to do another shield bash. But when I
This
do, I want to try to take the position that the skeleton was on, the one on
Gotcha.
the right. Yep. So I'm going to move into his position if I can knock him off. So
Roll
let's
attack.
see. 22.
Okay. Roll for effect.
3.
Okay, so you try to take his place. You do knock him down, but when he's like falling over the edge, his legs get in the way and sort of push you back to where you were originally. But he did fall down. You hear this boosh as it disappears into the water. Lul.
Okay. I am going to attempt to blast this guy in the middle of the bridge with holy light again, using my medallion.
Okay.
Let's see, that
Roll
is
wah.
Wah. Right? 8. A mere 11.
Okay, that's not going to be enough. But you do see sort of the light coming down. It just doesn't seem to affect the creature at all. As it's lit up a little bit more, you can actually see in this darker area that it looks like there has been some massive movement through this area. Some of the bridge that's in front of you has been broken apart. No one's really noticed it out of yet, and because your light is what sort of illuminated all of this. But it looks like someone broke into this keep. It was certainly not, like it was open and people just walked in and attacked anyone. Like there was a battle here. But you do not harm it at all. Do you want to move or do anything else?
I will remain where I stand.
Stand in the place. Okay. Who else? Cirrus?
I am going to move here. And this skeleton that's in the water below, it's trudging along the bottom. About how far up its body does the water reach?
Right now, its head is exposed.
Awesome. I would like to freeze the water that surrounds its body to keep it from getting up to us around the back of it.
Okay. Give me a wah check.
Mm-hmm. That's a nat 1.
Ooh, okay. Roll for effect.
Knew it was going to happen tonight.
It's got to happen once.
Yep.
Or several times.
2.
Okay. So as you're casting this spell, for whatever reason, you're just distracted. It could be the horror of the scene that's unfolding. You're focusing on where that other woman went. You're wondering if your friend Delta even, is surviving on the other side of the grate with other creatures. You're wondering where the other skeleton is, and all these distractions are piling up in your mind, and you just can't focus on the spell. So when you try to cast it, it just loses it.
Awesome.
Lady Jezebel sees the hole, and she's thinking she could probably slide underneath that grate at this point. So she's going to make a dash for the inside. She does. You see her... Oh, sorry, it's reverse. You see her run around you guys like some football player, slide underneath the grate, and she stops right where the bone remnants are on the ground, and she's calling out, Elspeth! Elspeth, where are you? And
Hi there.
she's like, help!
Careful, my lady.
Stop that gate! Close that gate!
All right, hold on.
So you see this guy, Cirrus, moves up. It took him a while to claw his way. Well, let me check. Hold on. Yeah, it took him a while to claw his way up this muddy incline, but he made it. This one is going to try to do the same. And he just cannot seem to get a purchase. He's clawing at the mud, trying to get up. Any grass and debris is just being clawed down into the water with him. And these two, this one slides underneath while this one is holding it up. And now without the support, it's much heavier, and it crushes down. It had its shoulder in place on the grate. It now crushes down on its shoulder, and this one is pinned, but this one is on the other side. So that is the state of things. Let's go to Delta.
I say to the lady, get behind me. Get behind me. I'll keep you safe from this guy as long as I can.
You got it. Get him. Get him.
And I kind of realizing that my dagger might not be doing the best against these things, I kind of take up the jawbone that I have as a makeshift blunt instrument, and I'm going to try braining this skeleton with the other skeleton's jaw.
Roll attack.
All right,
Hit a guy with another guy.
That is a 19.
19, nice. That's going to hit. Roll for effect.
All right. That is a 10.
Okay, so you do hit it. It sort of jars the helmet against its face a little bit. You did say you were trying to brain it. It doesn't seem to have a lot of effect, but you do see it sort of it shatters a little bit, like little crack sound coming from inside the helmet. What number is that? 2.
And you better step back or there's going to be another one.
If you're not quiet, there's another one chambered. Okay, nice. Let's do you, Lul. What do you got?
All right, so this accursed skeleton that still stands in the middle of the bridge. I'm gonna move up next to him to get better angle there, and I will attack him with holy light.
Okay. Do you have any weapons on you?
Try and I have some throwing knives.
Oh, okay. Yeah, holy light's
But-
probably a better bet.
At quite close range here, so yeah, let's blast them. Okay, and I use the wah.
For that, yes.
Come on! A 22.
All right, let's roll for effect.
15.
Nice. So the light comes beaming down out of the sky, and it just crushes him under the weight of the actual light itself. He's number 2. You see him sort of drop down to a knee as this furious power is just suppressing him, and he takes a significant amount of damage as the light dissipates. You can see the bones sort of shaking as he stands back up.
Oh, great.
Can I,
Right.
while he's coming back up, can I try to decapitate him to finish him off?
Roll attack.
Finish him.
18.
Roll for effect.
Yes.
18.
Nice. So you
Fatality.
swing your sword out, it connects with the neck. The head falls off of the body and rolls back behind somewhere around the gate area. And the body still seems to be in the same position. It's just the head is gone. And it's clearly, that was number 2. It's clearly hurting.
At that point, is it all right if I rush over? I'm assuming that the skeleton is fairly looking like almost just like a bag of bones at this point.
It looks beat, yeah.
I want to basically move just so I'm next to the one next to the gate to give it a make sure it's not focusing on the gate anymore.
Okay. Yeah, it's kind of crushed under the gate at the moment.
Oh, is it crushed? Then never mind.
Yeah,
I'll
I mean
stay where I was.
it's
I
not.
apologize.
I mean it's not dead. It's not undead, but it's it's a skeleton. It's alive. It's undead, but it's not defeated yet, right? So
But it's
not,
under the gate. It's not
Yeah.
moving forward.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Animated.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. It's not animated, or it is
Okay.
animated. Okay.
I will hold.
Anyone else needed to go? All right, then we're gonna have the skeleton move up. This one's gonna attack Cirrus. And it completely misses. You easily sort of duck or sway out of the way of its strike. This one's trying to get up that doggone bank, and for some reason, it finally does. You see it climb up, and if it could be like breathing winded, that's what it would be doing. This one is trying to squeeze back out of the grate, and it is just not moving anywhere. You just see legs and arms sort of twitching and writhing. This is like reaching around, and it pats you guys physically, it seems like it's trying to reach its head for some reason, and it's not really concerned about attacking at this very moment. A little strange comical appearance of it. You see Jezebel, after Delta, you told her to get behind you. She actually runs up and around the corner, and you can hear this sort of embracing sound of 2 women weeping. You actually overhear, them saying something like a name like Xander or something like that. They took Xander, and they're just like sort of crying and holding each other. You just picked all that up from hearing. So congratulations.
Everyone's so emotional here.
Yeah. Doesn't undead attack your keep every night? I thought that was normal.
I mean, this is Solamnia.
That's true. We're right next door to Dareguard, so.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Right next door to hell. Okay, that's them. That's their turn. So Delta, what you got?
All right. I'm gonna try to hit this guy in his chest. Oh, actually, question: is he wearing armor or just a helmet?
The one in front of you is wearing armor.
Okay. Well, then I'm gonna stop it with the jawbone. I'm gonna take out my dagger and I'm gonna try to get it between the plating and kind of like shake it around like I was doing to the other one. See if I can disrupt its physical form a little bit.
Okay. Attack.
Okay. That's an 11.
Okay, yeah, you're not able to get through that. Do you want to move or anything, or are you good where you are?
I'm gonna back up a little bit. I'll take like, let's say like a step or 2 back. How many steps one space is.
Yeah, that's fine.
Just kind of like trying to lure him a little bit more into the keep, to figure out if I can get an advantage in here.
Right. Okay. So Lul, what do you got?
All right. This skeleton in front of me. I would like to use my mighty strength to lift him up, as he is now headless. Perhaps that makes him slightly lighter. Throw him over the bridge into the water.
Yes.
Roll attack.
Okay, roll attack. What is that? A 22.
You roll for effect.
A 10.
Okay. The missing head did not alleviate as much weight as you were hoping, but it is still just a collection of bones. So you do pick it up, and you're walking over to the edge as it's like clawing at you. So were you trying to turn around, or were you trying to move forward to drop it off? Because you have it.
I'm going to move forward. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
going to
so
keep
like
going forward.
This way?
this way.
Okay. So yeah, you drop it, and it's just like
Bones.
kaploosh, falls into the water. Well, that's how you
Cool.
do it. Serious? You have that one right next to you. What do you want to do? You with us?
Kurt?
Oh yeah, you're having an issue. Okay, try to resolve your issue. We cannot hear you.
No audio.
I think he's muted.
Errol, you want to do something?
Okay, so we have the skeleton that's actually going after Curious, or Sirius, sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and reposition myself, move up, so I'm protecting him with the shield brother ability, and I will strike at the skeleton to see if I can knock it back off the bridge, but also just try to do as much damage as I can with my sword.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is number 1. Okay. Attack.
That is an 18.
Roll for effect.
10.
Nice. Okay. You cut at it, and you can hear the crunch and the grinding of the cartilage as your sword goes in. You said you were trying to push it off?
I was trying to swing so that my momentum of my hit would either try to knock it off balance off
Gotcha.
the bridge again, as well as do damage to it.
Let me see something real quick. So you do damage, and you do push it right back off. It's grappling at the side, but the force that you swung with is not enough to help it. Come on now. There. And you can hear it just sort of splash and slide down that sort of bank right at the edge there. Sirius,
Get
are
off
you
of
back
my
with
wizard.
us? Kurt, if you can get your audio working, just shout out as soon as you can. I'm going to have the skeletons move while you're working on that.
He's stuck in another dimension.
Go ahead
He's
and
using
type.
too much
Maze.
magic.
Someone cast maze.
Do you want to type in the chat what you want to do? That is another option. Sirius? Okay, so while he's doing that, this skeleton now finally able to move forward. Oh, you lost power on your phone. Oh no. Okay, so are you going to be able to play without the phone, or are you not going to be able to play, period? And as he's answering that, this skeleton comes up and
No.
attacks Errol. And it completely misses you. This skeleton is number 2. And it's going to try to climb up this bank. And it cannot. It's stuck on that bank. This one fell. It stands back up. It's going to try to climb up that bank, and it just moves right up as if it was born to do this.
Oh.
All right, this guy moves forward. And you can see the poise, the way this creature moves compared to the skeletons on the other side. It is purposeful. It's okay, Kurt. We totally understand. It happens. Thanks for joining, by the way. We're going to have someone who wants to take over Cirrus.
I could split play. I don't mind.
Okay, thanks. This one is going to attack Delta. Fine. Hits. So it swings its sword at you, and it connects. It does 4 damage. It's it looks like it was a glancing blow compared to what it could have done.
Mm.
Let's see. Now, these two come back around the corner, and they actually have swords with them, and they're taking a swipe at that one. So first it's Jezebel, and she completely flubs it, and she actually almost connects with you, Delta. It just barely misses you with the sword.
no.
If you had a
I
top
don't
knot, you would have
need a
lost it.
shave.
Elspeth, however, does connect with the creature. Oh, wow. And actually does really well. That was number 2. She just bashes into it with the sword. It like dents in this ancient armor that it's wearing. And these 2 characters don't really know anything about skeletons. This is clearly their first official battle. I mean, Elspeth had to deal with something earlier in the day, but they don't really know what they're doing as far as combat goes. This is a traditional Lady of the Keep role that they've been playing. And this one can't get out from underneath, and that's their turn. So what do you want Cirrus to do before we go back to the top?
I think Cirrus is... Oh, jeez. I think he's just going to try to throw a spell at these two. I think he's going to try to summon up a spell of Shatter. He's going to try to summon up magical energy and have it explode in a little area around them.
Okay. Let's do a Wa check.
I don't know what Cirrus's Wa bonus is, though. I can't see his sheet.
Right. Let me tell you here.
I'll write it on mine too, just real quick.
So Cirrus's tack is 3, Psych is 5, Wa is 9. 3, 5, 9.
5, and then Wa is 9. Okay, thank you very much. So I will roll for Wa real quick. That is a 23.
I'm going to add you to the controller here. And Errol. 23. Let's roll for effect.
That is an 8.
Okay. So you do strike it, and you can tell that it did take some damage. This one, it's sort of pinned, so it can't really move to evade anything, but it looks like the majority of the blast unloaded on the gate itself, which now has this massive dent moving inside of it, sort of bending it up, so it's like curling off the ground just a little bit from the force.
All right.
Okay. So just as sort of an aside before we go to the official next round, we only have 1 hour left, so we may not finish this one shot. Again, this is the...
Cursed skeletons!
Curse you, skeletons! Too effective. So what we're going to do is try to get as much completed as we can, and then... I think we're going to be able to reveal some information that if we ever wanted to do another one of these would set up that next portion, but at least you'll get a taste of what was to come. So that, we're not leaving empty-handed as far as story-wise.
Sure.
So let's finish out this battle. It is almost over. I know it doesn't seem like it is. So Delta, what do you got?
I'm going to... You said there was, like this guy in front of me has some kind of mentality, like the other ones were just drones, but this one seems to be in control. Yeah.
I was meaning more of himself. Like this is, if there was like a leader or a follower, this and the one under the grate, they are leaders.
All right, that is entirely fair. I'm gonna try to I'm just gonna stab at him with my knife. I'm just gonna try to use my low center of gravity to trip him and stab him with my knife.
Attack roll.
That's a natural 20.
Wow.
Roll for effect.
All right. That is a 10.
Natural 20 though. All right, so you strike him. He completely falls on his back. You see his head rack on the bottom of the ground really hard, and his body sort of just goes stiff and then just goes limp on the ground. That's number 2.
All right.
There doesn't seem to be any animation in it.
All right. Delta looks at the two ladies and he says, all right, now that wasn't so hard, was it?
There's like, the one pinned down. Let's get him.
All right, yeah.
Lewel?
Yeah, I suppose since I'm somewhat close to this pinned chump, I'm going to move closer to this skeleton and, okay. Is there some other ability that I can use that is not just blasting with holy might, as fun as that is?
Right.
I'll do it again.
I mean, you can try to turn undead, and if you get a really good score, you might damage it. I mean, does anyone else have any other ideas about what she could do?
You could cast a Sacred Flame at it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, what is this sacred flame?
Of which
it is it's a ball of holy fire that just kind of shoots out from your divine focus or your medallion. It's like a soul-consuming flame.
Would that ignite the gate, though?
No,
I
it's
wouldn't think
Is that
magic.
a
so.
risk?
No.
Mhm.
No.
It's not like actual fire, it's like holy fire. It like burns the soul or like lack thereof.
All right. I'm gonna attempt. What is it? Holy flame?
Sacred flame.
Sacred flame on this
Sacred
pinned
flame.
skeleton.
All right, roll a wah.
That is wah.
Wah,
Sacred flame, 15.
Okay, give me a roll for effect.
And another 15.
Okay, you completely decimate this creature that was already pinned down, but the flame just ignites the sort of infernal essence within it and decimates it and just sort of crumples into ashes right in front of your eyes as the gate
Yeah.
crumples the last little inch and a half that its body was taking up. Nice.
So I push. I basically
Wah!
tell Sirius, "Get behind me!" As I swing at the other skeleton, and I'm going for his hip bone, trying to basically remove his ability to walk around.
All right. Attack.
15.
Give me a roll for effect.
2.
Well, you did hit the hip bone. It did not dislodge it or anything, but you did do damage. This is a number 3. And that actually busted it up. It falls down dead. So congratulations.
Thank you, Paladine.
I got this. All right, Cirrus?
All right. I'm going to, or I guess Sirius is going to. Oh, geez. I think he's just going to try to throw. He says to Errol. He says, "Errol, make it for the keep. I'll go in last. I have a plan."
I look at him and say, "Is all right."
And now I can't occupy his space. It's just gonna be a bit more convenient for me to stand there. I'm just gonna try to throw like a fire bolt at this guy, like a low, like a fire cantrip, just trying to knock him off again.
In order to see him, you would have to move over to this spot right here.
All right, I'll move here, and I'm just gonna try to like cast a fire bolt down at him.
Okay. Wah.
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 That is a 28.
Roll for effect.
11.
This guy's been around forever. You throw down that flame dart or shaft or whatever it was, and it completely bores into its head and bursts it apart, and all of the little pieces start floating down the water.
That's gnarly.
You're like, that's how you do it.
Yeah, this is the power of magic.
This creature, not having any sentience, only knows one thing, so it moves up to attack. Oh, shit. It hit. And you take 6
Do I still
damage.
get to use my shield brother ability? Did that help?
With that roll, it would not have helped.
Okay.
You did, you're like trying to jockey your way or something like that, but he just did too good of a roll to deflect anything. So 6 damage on Cirrus.
Mhm.
You can see these girls. Elizabeth says, "I'm going to go into the gatehouse and like wind up the gate itself from the mechanism." And so she sort of disappears into the inside of the gatehouse. Jezebel's like, "I'll help you," and she runs into it as well. They're going to try to lift this grate to let you guys in. But again, one of the blasts bent the gate, so it's clearly not going to be able to go up very far. So you guys are going to have to use your verbal communication or something, like, "All right, hold it there," and then try to slide under while it's being held or something. Okay,
All right, don't worry, I'll be your ears.
Delta, you're up.
All right, I run up to the gate and I look at Lowell and Cirrus and Errol and I say, "All right, everybody get close to the gate, as close as possible. They're going to try to lift it for you."
I'm already here, man.
You're like,
All right.
done. You can actually
All
see
right.
the grate sort of like moving in these sort of short, jerky motions as it just can't get a purchase from it being bent a little bit. And it's just not moving up very far anymore. It was, like 2.5 inches off the ground when the skeleton was underneath it, the skeletal warrior. But at this point, it's just not moving up very much. Can you guys think of a different way?
Oh God.
Yeah. Am I able to army crawl under the gate, or how much?
Well, it's only 2.5 inches. It can't get above that. So,
Never mind.
maybe if
Okay.
you,
Can I run up to it and help lift from this side?
roll tack.
I'm cheering him on.
You got this.
Yes.
Like you could help.
Oh no, I can't help.
No, I gotta see.
I am helping. I'm a positive influence.
I
A natural one.
Oh no!
Roll for effect.
Errol,
Watch your
no.
fingers.
8.
Okay. I saw that 20. I almost freaked out. It ends up pinching a little bit of your foot, denting the armor of the foot, but you don't take any serious damage from it.
Okay.
Cirrus.
Cirrus is going to try to call upon a slightly stronger magic. Actually, I don't know if... is there an equivalent to Bigby's Forceful Hand in Dragonlance? Because I know that's something in 2nd edition D&D.
Spell is a spell, so you want to conjure a magical hand to help lift it up?
Yeah, I want to try to conjure like some kind of magic hand to try and lift up the grate slightly.
Okay. So you summon the energy of Lunatary. It swells inside of your body. You can feel it just coursing through your veins. You've already exhausted yourself significantly. You're tired. You're worn. What's your total roll?
I did not roll that. There was just a 22 that popped up in the chat, but I'm gonna roll for it myself. I think Kurt might still be with us.
Oh,
Yeah, I
is he?
think Kurt's here. Yeah.
Oh, he's in
Kurt
game
is-
chat. I'm
Spirit.
sorry.
There he is.
He's
back!
alive. I'm sorry,
I'm here
Kurt.
in spirit. Yes, you are. All right, you got a 22, I guess.
Okay, we can actually have you just control your character then if you're in chat. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So 22. 22. Let's roll for effect.
I just didn't want to name drop Bigby because Bigby doesn't exist on Krem.
Oh, that's okay. It could be Magus' hand or Fistendalis' hand or Mama Cass's hand. I don't care.
Just a damn Mama Cass's
It's
hand.
Mama Cass. So
Imagine
just the
if Mama-
mic and camera died. Apple devices. All right, that's cool. So can you roll for effect for me, Cirrus?
No!
Yo,
You shall not pass.
So as the magic, you can tell the magic has taken a significant toll as this mystical hand starts to formalize in front of the gate, and as it starts gripping the gate, and it looks like it's trying to lift it. It has no like leverage so that you can really tell of. It's the hand just slips right through the gate itself, and the gate shakes a little bit, but then drops back down, and ultimately it does not move the gate at all. You can hear muffled from inside the gatehouse screaming, "We're trying! What are you doing? Stop it! Stop!" Like, because whatever you're doing is like affecting their attempt to manipulate the gears and such. This skeleton moves forward and charges at Cirrus. Oh, wow. So it hits really hard. Okay, I'm sorry. It hit well. It did not hit hard. You take 4 damage as it slices your back, which is probably part of the reason why you were so ineffective in that last spell and keeping it going. I need a moment. Okay, so let's start at the top. With them on the inside, you can actually hear a sort of a chain sort of break, or some sort of like crushing, snapping sound. And the gate itself seems to drop down and slump to the side even more. And it looks like only one side is in this sort of groove and the other is like canted outside of it. You might actually be able to like push one corner and have it sort of topple over if you can push it with significant force.
All right. I think Delta is going to try to take a couple of steps back and just run full body tackle into the gate. Try to like start knocking it down.
Okay.
Like a door.
So you're pushing it toward Errol?
God, I don't know what else I would do. Maybe
Do it.
I could do
Do
that, and then you can always try to bend it from your side. Actually, no. I'm gonna run. Do I have time to run to the gatehouse and try to help them in there?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, if you
Well, I'm
want
gonna
to.
run to the gatehouse, take stock of the situation, be like, "What are you doing?"
We just disconnected it from the mechanisms. All you have to do now is pull it back.
Oh, all right. Then all right. I run back and I try to pull back the gate. I guess
Give me a tack check.
you got it. That is a 16 plus 7, 23.
Roll for effect.
That's a 2.
So this thing is really heavy, but you do find that, through the success of your pulling and just sort of yanking and jerking your body back, it is like falling out of the little groove that it was resting in the ground. And at this point, if someone doesn't want to pull or wrench on it anymore, you could just climb over the corner of it. So, Lul, what do you got? What are you going to do?
So I'm going to attempt to, as Delta is doing that, as he's pushing and shoving on one end, I'm gonna go pushing and shoving on the opposite end to with equal force. That way it gets extra wiggly, so there's more space for us to squish through.
Right. Okay. Give me a tack check,
In theory. All right.
and you'll have to move up to next to Errol.
Okay. Check to get the gate wiggling.
Who brought the Vaseline?
Natural 20.
24.
That's
Oh!
Yes.
Hey!
All right, roll for
Ultimate
effect.
Strength. Yes. 10.
All right, you walk over and you just grab it, and as if it was already just a regular wooden door that you could swing, you just lift it up, and completely it just sort of anchors up. Delta has to step back and shimmy out of the way as it just crashes down and sort of lands canted on the ground.
Hey, what's going on?
You're like, that's how you do it.
I didn't know
Okay.
you had it in you.
Neither did I.
Errol, what do you want to do?
Well, I'm going to. I see that you're opening the gate just fine, and I look back over to see Sirius and taking damage. I just basically say, "It's Solaris Uth Mythos," and I charge the skeleton to get it off of my compatriot.
Okay. Give me a tack check once you get there. This is the only guy left.
21.
Okay, roll for effect. 1. Okay.
11.
All right. You completely cut it down. It crumples down into just a small pile of bones in front of you. And if I remember correctly, I do. All you hear is this sort of shambling sound of bones as whatever holy effect was terrifying this thing stopped, and it is running back. Cirrus, what do you want to do? All right, he's wincing and holding this. He's like, ow! What
Serious.
the?
Errol, get in the keep
He
now!
moves up.
Now going into the keep, if I'll follow.
Yeah, you can actually just go straight in if you want, Cirrus.
Oh, yeah. I'm moving in as well.
Okay. As you guys are moving in. Now remember, that gate is off of its hinges and it's not connected to any pulleys or anything anymore. It's just sort of laying there. In fact, most of you are standing on it right now. Do you plan to do anything about this skeleton, or what do you guys want to do here?
I'll cut it down if it approaches.
It is certainly going to approach.
I'll take a stand right here where I can see it, and I'll throw a dagger at it from here. Try to get him.
Oh, okay. So before it does that, you run forward and you throw it. Give me a tack check.
That is an 11.
All right. 11 is not enough. The dagger flies by it. That was with your bone? Yeah, that is. Okay.
Yep.
So yeah, it just flies right by it.
I have another one of those. Don't worry, somewhere in here.
If you guys are waiting, it'll run up and then you'll be able to attack. So Errol and
Yes, I'm
Lul, you can
I'll
attack
back
it.
up.
ready to blast the skeleton.
I'll step in the way to make sure that I'm ready for it. And as soon as it approaches, I would like to take a swing, but I will guard Lul just in case she's targeted.
Okay. Well, Lul, let's have you go first, and then he's going to take a swing at it.
Okay, I'm going to use my medallion to blast him.
Okay.
So.
What?
Ah,
What?
24
Nice. Roll for effect.
and a 15.
Okay. Which one was this? This is 7. This has you just turned this one when we first started the battle. So you blast it. You see this sort of flame cover the entirety of the skeleton as it dies away. You can see the charred bones, and it looks like, you know, it's a little like sort of broken and sort of hanging a little bit, but it is still up and around. Errol. So as she did that, as it was charging forward, it blasts him, and then it moves to you. You get to attack.
All right. I go ahead and I just bring my sword down as hard as I can on top of its head.
Attack.
And I only get an 11.
Oh, that's not enough. Okay, so you miss him as he swings down. He attacks you just because you're right in front of him. With that roll, he hits. You just take 1 point of damage. It for whatever reason, it connected with you. You were down as you finished your swing with your sword, and it just sort of raked the back. It caught right underneath your shoulder guard and just sort of scratched your shoulder a little bit. 1 damage.
All right. Tis but a scratch.
Cirrus, did you want to do something? Okay. He's like, thank you, my friends. I need a moment. I'll be ready to move on. So these ladies move back out and around. Like, what is wrong with you? Haven't you finished this thing off yet? Honestly, like just sort of shocked that it's not dead yet. After all of this has been done. Delta?
All right, I kind of muscle my way over. I kind of walk over the gate a little bit, and I look at this guy, and I take out my other dagger, and I start stabbing at him. My second, not as cool dagger.
Attack check.
Got it. 14.
14 is not enough. So you're like jabbing at him. You're either getting right between his bones, or he's moving aside, or something. Just seemingly able to evade every single strike. Lul.
I bite my thumb at him.
Okay,
How rude.
at this point, I'm going to attempt something that has never been attempted before. I'm going to take out one of my throwing knives, and I'm gonna imbue it with some holy power.
Oh, nice. Give me a watch check.
I'm going to throw it right into the eye of this evil fiend.
I wish I had Eye of the Tiger queued up.
23.
Okay, so your Wa was effective. Roll for effect.
Oh. A 16.
Very nice. So you imbue it with power, and you let Habakkuk guide your throw, and it buries itself right in the head of this creature. That's the only one standing. And it takes the head cleanly off. Your dagger goes with it, glowing with this sort of divine light as it sort of rolls down and stops right against the side here. The body of the skeleton sort of crumples down on its knees and just falls over back, and it seems to not have any animation left in it at all. So congratulations.
Excellent.
Praise Habakkuk.
You defeated it. Let's see what Sirius says.
Aw.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Can someone read that for Cirrus?
He winces grimaces and motions the ladies back away from the gates. Pardon the inconvenience, madame, but putting the undead to rest is not always a simple matter.
Oh, poor
Clearly.
guy.
Listen, this is not over. You must go after the others. They took my brother Xerxes. He was supposed to be taking care of the keep, but they broke in. And one of them, he was too strong. I believe his name was Caradoc. They went underneath. And she sort of crumples down to the ground, unable to really continue after the adrenaline is wearing off, after the terror of the entirety of the night has taken over, and she just almost straight up passes out. She's just sort of out of commission. Her sister, bends down and sort of caresses her in her lap. And who is right here?
Do I recognize the name Caradoc? I mean, I would assume I would know a little bit about Soth.
Yes, give me 1 second on that. Cirrus, can you give me a psych check really quick? And then I need another psych check from you, Errol.
Psych check.
Psych.
Gotta get my numbers down.
This guy's gone. Let's get rid of him. Let's go this way.
17.
Nice. Okay, and what did Cirrus get? Well, we'll deal with Cirrus's in a second. So you know the name Caradoc. That's Lord Soth's seneschal. But he died at the Cataclysm. So you've heard rumors. Everyone knows that Lord Soth is a real thing. We know Palanthus was attacked. But why Caradoc, one of the skeletal minions of Lord Soth, would have invaded this castle is beyond your comprehension. This is where Delta, do you want to roll a psych really quick?
Yeah, I'll roll a psych. And I also feel like I say, hey, wait a minute. I think I've heard of this whole thing before too.
Okay, so then you don't have to roll a psych. Just go ahead.
Well,
and
I got
say
a 24.
And Sirius got a 22 on his.
Okay. Cirrus, you hear something like whimpering. Like you couldn't hear it before because of the sound of battle and Elspeth sort of crying and screaming. But now that she's out of commission, you're hearing some sort of whimpering coming from the forward right of you, around this building that's in the front north right of you. Okay, so Delta, did you want to say anything about what you remembered?
Yeah, I kind of step towards everybody and I say, well, I mean, I heard tale from one of my cousins that the Viraneshes, Lord Viranesh, he had some kind of artifact hidden here. Apparently it had some kind of magic power, beyond even some of the greatest magical minds on Kryn. I don't exactly know what the heck it could be, but if the undead want it, it can't exactly be good.
True. This is really unnerving. Lord, the Knight of the Black Rose, his seneschal? That doesn't make any sense. He's been gone for some time, hasn't he?
Yeah, I thought Lord Soth had perished. I didn't think he was real.
Lady Jezebel, the one who had come to the banquet in the first place, who's cradling her sister in her lap, she looks up, she's like, that artifact, it's nothing. It's just a stupid little jewel in the shape of a half of a tear. It exists. It's in the catacombs. It's at an altar, but apparently this Caradoc had taken it. I don't really know why. With that information, Cirrus, did you say anything? Oh, you walk over to investigate? So I'm going to move your character over there. As soon as you... Oh, I'm on the wrong layer. Sorry, give me 1 second. As soon as you get to this point right here, you actually see what appears to be a young maid sort of crouching around the corner, hiding, barely whimpering. You barely heard it over everything and everyone else talking, but you can see her right there. Sirius, you did overhear them speaking just from as you were walking away. Can you give me a wa check?
Wow.
Wow. So I'm going to need you to do a raw check, and then I'm going to need you to do a psych check. Do you tell anyone else that she's right there? You guys see Sirius walk away, by the way.
Sirius, where you going?
Okay, so this is your raw check. You have heard of... You're sort of piecing together this information that Delta had shared about this Age of Might artifact that Lord Viranesh has been bragging about. And you're sort of putting it together with the idea of this sort of half-tear shaped. And to your shock and surprise, this sounds like an artifact called the Tears of Takesis. You're not entirely sure what it's supposed to do, but you have certainly heard of it. If you tell other people that, then we can take a next action. But right now I need you to do a psych check to see if you can convince this individual to run out. You keep it to yourself, okay?
I mean, what good is a tear-shaped rock anyway? Like, why would some kind of monster want it anyways?
In which direction did the boy, where was the boy taken? Xander, was it?
Yes. Well, so first of all, it was Elspeth. So she is sort of exhausted, and you know, she was the one here to have seen it. If you're going to try to cajole that information out of her, give me a psych check to see how well you can do that, because she is exhausted. So Sirius, you do convince her to come out. She sort of slowly approaches you, and she's asking, "Are the dead gone? Did they leave?" 12.
Yep, we got a 12 from mine.
So you're sort of, you know, I don't know, maybe gently nudging her and just calling her name, Elizabeth, tell us, where did Xander, where was he taken? And she just sort of, you know, lifts her finger and points right behind you. It seems he's, you know, south of where you are. Or
like
at least
the
out the door. Yeah, like he's not in this area at all.
Gotcha.
Well, I doubt that there are any other... I kind of approach the two Jezebel, and I say, well, I doubt you'd know, but are there any horses left in the keep, or have all of them been run ragged?
She says that they wanted nothing to do with the keep. All they wanted was what was in the catacomb. They must have taken the family artifact. They didn't even bother with the livestock. They killed all of the guards, and they took Xander as he tried to defend us. And she, you know, starts crying at the loss of her life, ostensibly. You know, the keep has been ransacked. All of the help, as far as she knows, has been murdered. Her brother's gone. Their family artifact is gone. That has little significance to her compared to everything else, though. And Jezebel just sort of stands up. She's like, I don't understand why anyone would want an old dusty jewel that doesn't make any sense at all.
The
Lul,
jewel should be
can you give me a wa check, please? Sorry, what was that?
I'll let you do your wall check.
I have a question for the lady Elspeth, too.
Go ahead.
I got a 9.
You got a 1.
Rolled a 1.
Roll for effect.
Caramba. 5.
Okay. Whatever you were trying to do, you just can't seem to get it out. Your adrenaline is dropping as well, and you're sort of discombobulated in your head for just a moment, and you know, just sort of stumbling over your thoughts about what you want to do first. So Sirius, that young lady, tells you that she overheard Caradoc speaking to some other skeleton knights about how this gem will be the last piece they need to travel to the abyss, and they need to start tonight before the sun rises. So just you putting it together, whatever that does, if that's true, they must be somewhere relatively nearby because you're only a few hours away from sunrise.
Can I So we know that
Okay,
they went
she goes
south.
back with you.
Kender have an ungodly fascination with maps. Can I try to recall what is directly south of here?
Well, she just pointed out of the gate. The closest
Mm.
town to you all is Kentrell, and it's
Okay.
a town that sort of rests on one side of the Vingard River that separates you from Dergard. So you're right on that sort of that border, and
Right.
Kentrell would be that border. But it is
Well,
just
we're
a sort of fishing village.
We're gonna have to make for Kentrell, and we might even have to go into Dergard if we want to stop him.
Dergard? I
Just
like shiver.
For the
visibly.
Kender wouldn't bother with saying that, but everyone else hearing tales since they've been children about Lord Soth, and then the reality of him actually sacking Palanthus, that is a terrifying notion of going to Dergard.
I just kind of say it out of pocket. Like, I'm
Yeah.
not saying it like a serious way.
We should probably go do this, guys. And everyone's like, what?
Well, I mean, we know about the Abyss. Like, the Abyss is scary, and we don't want that here, because, I mean, I'm not afraid of anything, but I know you guys are.
So Sirius
let's
says
make-
something. Do you want to say that real quick, someone?
My friends, we must make haste to follow them, not only for the young lord's help, but I fear the plot of this creature.
So the
I
young
concur.
Jezebel turns to look at Dang it, that's not Jezebel. Sorry, dude, I'm moving you. Anyway, Jezebel turns around to you and says, "What plot? What are you talking about? We have to go for Xander. Who gives a damn what this Caradoc does with a stupid broken jewel?"
My lady, we will recover your brother. We will do whatever we can.
I mean, I don't want to be rude, your ladyship, but, like, saving your brother and saving the jewel aren't, like, mutually exclusive. I mean, do you nobles, like, is there anything going on up here?
I
How
put my hand on the
dare
back
you,
of
you
Xander
little
and just, like,
weasel!
maybe not the best time, Delta.
No, but I mean, think about it. Like, it's not like we have to pick one or the other. There's 4 of us, and the maid, and probably a couple of horses. Like, we can carry both of them back. It's not like this jewel is the size of me.
Do you know?
Yes.
I mean, maybe it's a huge jewel. She walks over
doubt
to you. She sort of grabs your hands from your sides. She doesn't look aggressive or anything, but she sort of brings them forward. She's like, "Do you promise that you'll bring Xander back alive? Do you promise me?"
I swear upon the oath and the measure, my lady, we will do everything we can to bring your brother back
She
alive.
leaps forward and gives you a big bear hug. Thank you.
Um,
Oh, thank you. She doesn't have
my
cooties.
lady, this is not appropriate. I don't think, my lady. I apologize. I'm very uncomfortable with the touching.
Someone want to
Delta
read
bites
Sirius?
pipe. My lady, the fate of the one is tied to the fate of the other.
Very well. If you promise, save my brother. I don't give a damn about the jewel. The maid back here, she tells you that there were more of those creatures that left than remained. She overheard Caradoc was commanding the skeletal warriors to finish off those surviving in the keep when he left, but he fled with 4 of those armored beasts and many more of the skeletons beside. And that is, just math, a larger number than you faced off right here. We will not have the time to deal with that particular encounter. But Luel, can you give me a wa check, please?
Yes. Of course.
There's been talk.
15.
Give me a roll for effect, please.
And a 4.
Yeah, you feel like you should have heard about this jewel somewhere before, but nothing's really clicking with you yet. But you do feel like it's on the tip of your tongue. Like, I feel like I should know this. But there's just nothing yet. Okay,
Okay.
so this is where we as players need to sort of come to terms with we just don't have time to complete this. So the story thus far, if we can do a form of wrap up here, and this is where you guys are right now. Oh, come on now. You're at Virnash Keep, and you need to go to Kentrell, right next to the Vingard River there. I'm going to zoom right in there. So if we had enough time to continue this story, you would have gone to confront Caradoc and find out what that jewel did, what the purpose of it was. And for that, I may make a little video or something like that. But on the off chance that you guys ever want to get together and do this again and finish it, then I don't really want to give the rest, the full story as of yet.
I think it'd be great to finish it. I had a great time.
Yeah, I would really like to do it again, especially given that we lost Kurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Sirius is alive and well.
Kurt, we lost Kurt. I hope Kurt's alive and well too. His laptop isn't.
I hope you're okay, Kurt.
Yeah. Don't die on us.
I would very much enjoy doing this again at some point. I think this is a great group.
Chris is shouting part two in the chat.
All
right. Well, if you all want to do it again, then we'll try to put something together and schedule time. But that is all the time we have today to play through this. Again, I just want to give a heartfelt thank you all so much for spending your time watching the videos that I produce on this channel. It takes a significant amount of time to do all this crap. And the fact that you spend your valuable time watching it means a terrible lot to me. So thank you very much. I want to thank the players. You guys rock. Thank you so much for stepping up and joining me on this little adventure experiment, really, since it's the first time I've ever done this system with a VTT. But is there anything you guys want to promote or tell people where they can find you or anything like that? Sirius, if you want to put that in chat, you'll leave me alone.
I don't do much.
I feel like everything went pretty smoothly, though.
Yeah.
And this was fun. And I have no experience doing this kind of thing, so I don't know. I had fun.
Yeah, I had a good time, too.
Yeah, this was great fun. I very much enjoyed this.
All right, well, you guys hang tight. Thank you all so much. Until next time, Slàinte mhath.